Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My first ever video, and I'm gonna be showcasing personally what I love about ARMA 3. It is a mod pack called ANTISTASI Ultimate. At least I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not too sure. But basically, what it is, there are two groups. There's the occupants and the invaders. Basically, what it is, you gotta capture every single point on the map, take it over, and then basically you win. But it sounds simple. It sounds simple, but it's really not. So far you can just see me messing with the settings right now. I'm just doing whatever. Uh, you can change them however you like. I would highly recommend third person. It is definitely my favorite. But yeah, enjoy the video. When you start up the game, you're gonna see a list of roles. I mean, there's a lot. There's team leader, rifleman, commander, combat lifesaver, and engineer. Basically, what each of those roles do, commander basically is just all of the roles combined. Okay, he can just do everything. Team leader can recruit troops and command them into battle. Rifleman, just, you're better with guns. There's less sway, some of that. Combat lifesaver is required if you want to give blood, saline, or plasma, which is needed if you want to get revived. If you're playing solo, don't be a combat lifesaver, just be a commander. Engineer, personally my role that whenever I'm playing with friends I choose, it is what you need to build the base and breach into armored vehicles if you want to capture them for yourself. When you load in, you're going to see a massive map. Personally, my favorite map. What you're seeing is my favorite location on this map. Any place you can base as long as it doesn't have a red circle on it, because that is a enemy outpost. When you load in, you're going to see factions. I would highly suggest Napa. It's the best one to start with. I do U.S. Army and Russia, personally. But you can do whatever you want, mess around. And then you can mess with all the settings to your liking. I make everything a little bit easier because when I'm playing solo. When I'm playing with friends, I make it harder. But it's really up to you. If you just want to have the hardest experience, turn their resource and their money all the way up as far as you can. I just turned it down to like 4x just for this run because I'm just trying to show you what to do. I turned on the NPC limits for my team to be high and then their team to be low because you can change that up, do whatever you want. There's plenty of settings. Some of them are experimental, so be careful. But, it's pretty simple like that. When you choose the amount of rebels that can be garrisoned, it is basically how your game or your wipe, whatever you want to call it, will go. For example, when solo, just do 16. It is not worth having to kill like 12 guys at just a resource base. You're also going to see the setting number of the same items to unlock. This means you can get an infinite amount of a certain item if you get this many stuff. So let's say you get 20 M4s. You'll get infinite after reaching 20 M4s. And it's definitely necessary if you're playing in a large group, because if you're solo and you have 20 M4s at that point, it really doesn't need to be infinite. Another thing you're going to need to know is when you're playing, if you die, you're going to lose a percentage of your money. The default is 30%. I turned mine down to 15 because, I'm a loser. That's how I play, man. When you're done setting up your factions and your settings, you're just going to want to press start game. Make sure your HQ's in the spot you want to play in, because that is going to have an insanely big role in how your playthrough goes. When your game is done loading, it's going to show you this little air cam of your base from its starting points. It's going to have no defenses. It's going to have a few buildings, maybe. Depends where you picked your location. And you're going to see this every time you log on, so you're going to see insane progression with your base every time you get on this game. Also, you're going to see a few errors pop up when you're playing this game. Just completely ignore them, press OK or close, and they do not affect your gameplay at all. When you're loading in for your first time, you're going to see a few boxes. One is your garage, one is your arsenal, which is where your weapons are, and then you're going to see a guy. His name is Petros, or you can name him whatever you want. He doesn't care, he's chill like that. Basically, he can give you missions if you ask him for it, but the main point of this game, if he dies, you lose almost all your money and all of your manpower, which is what you need for recruiting troops. It is called HR, which is At the top of the screen, you can see all those settings. If he dies, you have to first of all move base, and you lose 90% of your money, 90% of your manpower. Simple like that. When you select a weapon, you're going to notice that you have no ammo for it. What you got to do is go into either your outfit, your vest, or your backpack, look on the right side of your screen, and you're going to see the ammo that you need for that gun at the very top. Select however much you want, it doesn't matter. Then you're going to see the bottom thing, the plus sign, which is our meds. The only ones you need to worry about if you're solo are elastic and packing bandages. Other than that, you got to figure out everything for yourself. Hopefully you have a medic for your group, or else you may die in battle. When you start, you're going to realize you need a vehicle. Personally, my favorite is the Rebel Ural. It is basically just an old military truck, just with plenty of room in the back for people. Also, if you don't have a lot of people and you just want the storage space, you can get rid of the seats for extra storage, and you can mount 50 cals or anti-air in the back of the truck by loading a static defense and putting it in the back while using your scroll wheel menu. Also, if you want to customize your vehicle like I am right now, you will need to go up to your car, press Y, you'll see a ton of options, put your vehicle into the storage, and then you'll be able to customize it on the right side of the screen by changing the color. Personally, I love the sand Ural, it just looks good. I love tan. That is what I always go for whenever playing this game. Next step, if you're playing solo or you just want more people on your team, you'll see this flagpole and you can recruit whatever you want. I prefer marksmen, but you can go with auto riflemen and grenadiers. You just do whatever you want. They just know that you are going to have to give them their weapons later on, but they do start with a few bad weapons when first starting out. Also, if you're just like a neat freak, you want to reorganize your base, just click your scroll wheel and go up to a thing. You can select move asset and move it, and then you can put it wherever you want. And you can do this with basically anything that you start with, but you can't do it with buildables, which I will show you in the future. Now, if you're new to ARMA entirely, to command your NPCs if you'd recruited them, you will need to click the squiggly lines, which is next to one and above tabs. Basically, you can just see move here, just basic commands, stuff like that. They will attack people on their own, but you can also tell them to hold fire if you want to go in sneaky and silent and do things like that. You can tell them to stop, just guard a post. Also, if you want to put them in the back of the truck like you just saw I did, just use your squiggly lines and tell them to get in while you're in the driver's seat, and they will just get in. Just give them a second, because sometimes they take a few seconds to just process the command. Now, if you chose the same spot as me, I would highly suggest going after this resource space that is basically right in front of you. It's pretty easy to take down, and it has little to no defenses. Just watch out for a warehouse, because normally they all hide in there with protection, so just follow the route if you're doing the same location I am doing, because you gotta use soft cover and actual tactics. You probably just realized me use the word soft tactics and wonder, what is that? Or maybe you do know, and you already understand how the AI in this game work. This game has some of the best AI, even though this game is over a decade old. Suppressing fire actually affects the AI in this game, no matter what. You also need to use soft cover, because if you're behind something soft like these bushes here, they will most likely not know where you are, and if you shoot them and move to another location, they will shoot at your old location, not knowing that you moved, because you have soft cover. They can't see through it. This AI is actually just unbelievable, and it is crazy how a game this old has AI this good. When you go to a resource base when you're first starting, you have to be extremely careful if you don't want to die, because you don't want to lose your money. I mean, at that point you have a total of 1,500 if you're playing solo, maybe more if you're playing a duo or trio or whatever, but you want to save your life. So use soft cover, take it slow, use a sniper if possible. If you want to use an SMG like the Scorpion, go ahead, it doesn't really matter. But be careful, because these guys have M4 carry handles, M4 A1s. They also have grenadiers, which have underbarrels that shoot HE grenades. So just be mindful, be careful, because it is very dangerous going after America, because they are extremely developed in this game. As you see, I just got shot, and now I'm using the healing menu. The only tip I have for this, use elastic on your limbs, such as legs and arms, and use packing for your chest plate, or your chest. You may need to use more than one bandage sometimes because you got hit hard or, something bad happens. Just make sure to bandage up as fast as possible so you don't lose blood, because if you lose a lot of blood, you could just die and just nothing, you can't be saved unless you have a combat medic on your side. When you're going after bases and just AI in general, some of them may be stiff, or in other words, you can't walk over them or through them and they're an actual object. You need to shoot them as fast as possible because there's a chance they just get up and brush it off because they are not dead until you shoot them. As you see, this guy, I shoot him a few times and then he finally dies. His body like kind of flings a little bit, but basically you need to shoot them if you can't walk through their body, even if they're on the ground. As you see me looting here, you see me find a machine gun. Now these are pretty rare for resource bases, at least when I play. It's obviously not a developed one. I mean, it has soft packs, it has 50 round mags, and it has a delay on the trigger. So it is not good whatsoever. So when you see one of these, it's honestly better to just get an M4 that is perfectly fine. Also, if you're using a full auto weapon, you need earplugs because your ears will start ringing and you can end up getting hurt from it, and sometimes you could die if you shoot too much. Like if you have a 50 cal and you shoot it for a minute straight, you will die. Also, as you see me loot, you're going to see me take the enemies' vests and backpacks. This is how you acquire loot. Sure, it's a little sad that you're taking your enemy's stuff instead of getting it on your own, but you will get one later on from something called the arms dealer, which I won't show in this video, but if you guys want, I can make another video completely explaining the arms dealer, because it is its own thing entirely. Here I'm going to showcase what happens if the earplugs don't go in. Your ears will start ringing, and I'm just going to say it hurts really bad. After your ears start ringing, your character will get scared, and he will have a headache or a migraine, and he will sway a lot more than if you didn't wear earplugs. So even if it doesn't bother you in real life when you're shooting and your ears are ringing, just wear earplugs because your character does take effect from it. I don't know about other resource bases, but this one has a bugged one. Sometimes he is bugged. When he is looking at the door, he will not shoot you unless you give him like 10 seconds to react, because he is meant to be a radio person who calls in reinforcements and basically tries getting more people to kill you. Sometimes the NPCs will get overwhelmed with the amount of gunfire that they just decide to surrender in the end, which is what happens here. You'll see a few boxes fly out of the building, and they put their hands on their head, signifying that they've given up. Be careful though, because as you just saw, not everyone gives up when a few of them are overwhelmed. And another tip, do not shoot surrendered people, because they will bring up your rep, or bring down your rep, I should say, with the Americans, and they will basically set your war level to extreme, which they will just send A10s at you if you do anything that they don't like. Now, the reason that I always start with a Ural is because of this reason. When you're done fighting, you need to loot everything that they drop or they die with, because that is stuff you can put together for kits for your future raids or battles or takeovers or whatever you want to do in this, honestly. Basically, you just gotta store stuff, get backpacks, a vest. There is a hat that says level 2 armor, but there is also a helmet that says level 2 armor, and I need to make it clear that they are not the same armor level. It's just that that hat is better than a normal hat, but that helmet is 10 times better than that hat because it's a helmet. Also, you can store vests in your backpack by emptying the vest, equipping that vest, and then dragging it to your backpack, but you cannot store your backpack in your clothes or your vest, and you cannot carry them unless you find a mod to do so. I'm going to be skipping over a lot of this looting because it gets very repetitive. Unless you're the one doing it, then it's actually extremely fun. This is probably one of my favorite parts of the game, is when you loot and then you're looking at all the loot that you got after a big battle. This wasn't too big because I turned down all the people, but you get the point. Also, something that I completely forgot to tell you guys about, if you want to loot stuff, press I when near a body. If it doesn't pop up the first time, just do it a few times because it will pop up eventually. Same thing if you want to put something in the trunk of your vehicle, go to the back of your vehicle, press I, and it should say crate. If it doesn't, try it again, it will say crate unless that just simply doesn't have a storage in the back of it. Also, as you saw me just pick up an M4 without pressing I, you can just press space if you see a hand symbol while you're looking at a gun, but just know if you have a gun equipped, it will replace your current gun for the gun that you pick up. Now, when I recorded this, I only found out at the end that I can quick move things by right-clicking. So I completely forgot that I could do that, and I'm just used to how I played my first time, because this game is so much fun that every time feels like your first time, because when you choose a new location, it's just a completely different experience. It's a brand new game. It's just so refreshing every time you play this game. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I said that these people surrendered. So there are a few options you can do with if they surrender. You can either release them, which increases your rep with the army, and they think of you as a better person, and they have a less chance of counterattacking you. You can recruit them, which they can either run off and tell their generals about you, which make them a little mad, but it's whatever. Or you can reveal enemy locations, which that one I've never done, so I don't really understand it, but it's pretty straightforward, I'm guessing. So if you want to know where other people are to attack, you just select that one, or you want to release them and get better rep with the US so they don't, attack you later on. That's what I normally do, as you can see. At this point in the video, I just completely have a flashback and remember that I can quick drag stuff if I equip the vest and just right click every item in it and throw it on the ground. So that's what I do. You will see how much faster it is looting, and I would highly recommend it if you are going to be looting, and especially if you're solo, because looting takes a long time if you're solo. I finished looting everything, and then I get in my truck. I use my squiggly line to command my men to get in the truck, and I go home extremely rich. On the drive home, I would highly suggest, if you're in a slow vehicle, to stay on the road, because the road and the grass are two completely different services. Especially in a Ural, you are extremely slow on the grass, rather if you're on a road, even if it's a road like this, you are way faster. I mean way faster. It's like almost double speed, at least I feel like it is. And especially when going uphill, do not go off-road. It could flip your entire car and just ruin an entire loot run and just make you have a horrible day. At this point, I remember that my favorite part when I first played this game was first-person driving. The inside sounds of the creaking were just beautiful, and it felt so realistic. And I remember it hooked me, and I literally spent an hour of this game just inside of a big armored vehicle, just driving around, having fun. Now, as I'm pulling up here, since I have people in the back of my vehicle, remember to always take them out, because sometimes they will glitch if you put away your vehicle with men inside of it. It could just kill your guys, or it could fling them, or it could just do so many different things. So just be safe and make sure to tell them to disembark. When you get back, make sure to put any bonus loot that you got from that run that's still in your inventory in your truck, because when you unload it into your arsenal, it will just take everything and put it in a safe place where no one can steal it, even if you get raided in the game and Petros dies. Now, as I just said, to put your stuff in your arsenal, to do that, you walk up to your arsenal, you click your scroll wheel, and then you just press load cargo, and it will take the closest vehicle, and it will put everything that's in the crate of that vehicle inside of the arsenal where it is safe from being stolen, raided, or lost. As you can see, the truck is now completely empty, and this arsenal is absolutely stacked to the brim with loot, vests, guns, just everything like that, and it is nice and safe where no one can get it. And as you can see, I got enough Stanag magazines to completely fill it up, and now it says I have infinite, so now I never have to worry about Stanag mags again, which are the main ammunition that America uses. So this is a definite win, especially for our first ever raid. Now, to save the game, you will need to go to your map, use your scroll wheel, and click Game Options, and then click Persistent Save, and it will consider your game saved, and it will not be wiped next time you join. So just keep it as a reminder, if you just abort and leave without doing this, your progress will be lost. I decided to reload just to show you what it looks like after you join back after saving. It will show you this sky view of your base, so you will see the progress of it every time you join. So every day you play, you're going to see the progress, build up and up and up until you finally own the entire map. And as you can see, when you save, your entire kit will also save, so you don't have to remake it every time you join. Also, you're probably wondering, how do you build stuff? In your garage, you will use your scroll wheel to click it to buy a vehicle, and you'll see in the other setting, you can buy boxes, builder boxes. There's small, huge, just sizes. I would suggest getting the 500 or 1,000 one for your first level, and just build up. I'll just show you what it looks like to build. This desert rampart is my favorite thing because soldiers cannot walk through it and tanks can't get by without destroying it, which they are extremely hard to destroy because it is sand, and even when they destroy it, it is a pile of sand, so it is hard for the tank to get over it, and it will give you plenty of time to get a rocket launcher and just blow it up and get rid of it and just be done with that. Also, you're going to see these bushes. If you want to get rid of them, just hit it with a truck or something. And if you want to get rid of the trees, get an armored vehicle and just ram it full speed. You will get hurt, but it's nothing you can't recover from. So if you want to get rid of the trees or the bushes, just hit them. Stumps you cannot get rid of as far as I'm aware, but you can just walk through them, so they shouldn't be annoying. They just look a little weird, so you're just going to have to deal with that. Now, on the actual building part, all you do is go up and press space. To build, you will either need commander role or you will need to be the engineer. But there are 5 slots for engineer, so there's plenty of room. These desert ramparts take a while, but in reality, it is worth it because it could be the entire reason that your base survives a raid or something like that. Alright, well, that is the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching and for taking the time out of your day. You can like and subscribe if you want. I'm not going to be annoying about it. But something I will be annoying about, if you guys need help with anything, just say something in the comments. Just let me know if you need a tutorial or you have a bug in the game. You can just let me know. I'm always willing. I'll make a video just for you, even if it's only like a 2-minute fix. Also, just take a minute to look at these mods. These are the mods you're going to need if you want to have the same experience as me. I had a lot of fun, and I hope you guys have fun, so have a good day, everyone. That's it.